Hello, everyone, and welcome to Frontline Football. Today, we're having a bit of a different event for the intro, as we're having a funeral for the great Michael White. Now, his resume is he beat the Cincinnati Bengals with sheer willpower and checkdowns for 400 yards. He then had a pretty good first drive against the Colts, and then the Buffalo Bills laid him out to die, and then Joe Flacco stole his job. Don't worry, Mike White. That's pretty normal for Jets QBs. They lose their jobs to Joe Flacco all the time. So don't worry about that part. But still, it has to honor such a great run in the history of football. And you will always be remembered with your Hall of Fame ball that you put actually is in the Hall of Fame. So we'll never forget this event. Thank you for everything, Mike White. Does anyone else have any words to say?
Bye, Mike White. I wore all the black I could for this.
We love you, Mike White, and we hope to see you again next time. Roll the intro.
Welcome, guys, to Frontline Football. We're going to start off with Thursday Night Football, which is in the middle, weirdly. And it's going to be the New England Patriots versus the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm going to go Patriots, mainly because the Patriots have just been bullying people these last couple weeks. And now everyone gets to laugh at the Falcons again for 28-3. Very original for the fifth year in a row now. I don't know how long it's been since that happens. But overall, Patriots have a lot of momentum in their favor. And the Falcons maybe without one of their, I'd argue, one of their best, if not their best offensive weapon in Cordell Patterson. I'll take the Patriots here. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Give me the New England Patriots. Now I will be wearing my hoodie like this in respect of Mike White and all they did for the Jets. So, yeah, I got the New England Patriots for this game. I think that after, the Cleveland Browns game, you can't deny that they are probably one of the best in the AFC. Probably in all the AFC, not just the AFC East. So I'm going to go with the New England Patriots here. Zach?
Same here. Patriots have been looking dominant. I've been doubting them a lot this season, but they have impressed me with some of their wins. And, yeah, hopefully they can keep this up. All right. Our next matchup is the Baltimore Ravens versus the Chicago Bears. Josh.
I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens here. Well, I do believe the Chicago Bears should have won against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They didn't. And the Ravens, they do dumb losses sometimes, but I feel like this time they're going to win and not do a dumb loss. So give me the Baltimore Ravens here.
Josh, who's next? I'll just go next. All right. Got the Baltimore Ravens also. I think that they are a really dominant team, but they just had a little bit of a stumble with Miami. They got shocked on it. But if the let me fix it again. The Bears, if their run, if they can blitz Lamar Jackson or Khalil Mack if he's back, can get to the quarterback, I think that they will have a solid game. Jack.
I have to go with the Ravens here on the road. Their backs kind of feel against the wall a little bit. They need to keep pace in the division that's getting closer and closer. And ultimately, even with the bye, I don't trust Chicago to get the job done here. I think Baltimore will be ready and they will win.
All right, cool. Our next matchup is the Cleveland Browns versus the Detroit Lions.
I am going to go with the Browns here. Credit to the Lions for tying with the Steelers. That's great. Great news. The losing streak is over. But I still think the Browns getting their key weapon back in Nick Chubb is going to be very helpful I think their defense is going to be able to pick it up, and I think they're going to do enough here to get the win, whether it's Baker on one arm, one knee, and whatever other injury he's dealing with, or Case Keenum. I think the Browns will do enough here to win. What are your thoughts, Zach?
The Browns also. I think the Browns are a really underrated team because of their injuries. They have been falling short these past couple of games, and I think that since they're getting Nick Chubb back, like Jack said, I think that they'll get the win here. Josh?
I have the Cleveland Browns winning this game. I feel like they're going to be looking for revenge after they lost to the Patriots that bad. And especially with Nick Chubb coming back this week and either Case Keenum or Baker Mayfield, I think that there's going to be enough firepower on that team to lead them to a win. So give the Cleveland Browns here.
All right, our next matchup is the San Francisco 49ers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to take this one. I believe that the Niners will beat the Jags. The Niners beat the Rams on Monday. So they're coming off a short week. So it's going to be a little difficult. The Jags have more game plan. But Urban Meyer's probably at the bar right now. But yeah, I think the Niners have a solid enough team with some injuries there to beat the Jags. Jack?
I'm also going to take the Niners here, mainly because they were really impressive on Monday night against the Rams. Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, not Trey Sermon. Who's the running back? Also Deebo Samuel sometimes. They got some good momentum going here, and I think they're going to try to keep it going here, and they're going to get another win. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I gotta go with the Jacksonville Jaguars here. I think they're gonna keep this momentum going because I'm sorry to say it, the 49ers did beat the Rams and they did blow them out, but the Jaguars beat the Colts. Or not the Colts, the Bills. I'm getting my teams confused again. So with that, I think that Jacksonville will take this game here and have their upset come right here after they played not a good game against the Bills, but good enough to where they could win the game. Give me the Jaguars here.
All right. Our next matchup is the Dallas Cowboys versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Josh?
Give me the Cowboys here. I think that the Chiefs need to really reevaluate what the heck they are doing. While they have gotten things back on track, the Cowboys have been looking so good this year with Trayvon Diggs coming out and doing well and sometimes allowing 100 yards of receiving and then getting like a pick or two. He's been doing well. The defense all around has been doing well. Dak has been doing well. Zeke has been having a comeback here. It's just been great for the Cowboys, and Tony Pollard has really done well. So I'm going to have to say that the Cowboys have a really good shot of, who knows, they may go all the way this year. But I think that at least they're going to make the playoffs, and it's going to start by showing the Chiefs that they're something to be messed with now. So, Jack, what are your thoughts?
I'll go with the Chiefs here. They got a little momentum. They blew the doors off the Raiders. I think they're going to try to ride that in, and they're going to try to get, I guess, technically an upset now. They're going to try to get the upset here over the Cowboys. What are your thoughts, Zach?
Cowboys. I think this offense that the Cowboys have and their defense will be able to kind of stop the Chiefs on defense, but they're really going to be able to produce some great offense. I think the Cowboys defense can get a few stops, but like I don't believe that the Chiefs defense can stop Cowboys offense. There's way too many big contributors on that offense to look out for, like Zeke, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb. I think Michael Gallup is back, and Amari Cooper. Those guys are gonna just ball out, and that O line is not. That O line is really good too, and that D line. I understand they have a lot of pieces on that D line, but it's not gonna get past the Cowboys O line. So I have the Cowboys here. All right, our next matchup is the Indianapolis Colts versus the Buffalo Bills. Jack.
I'm gonna go with the Bills here, mainly because Buffalo kind of got some momentum back the last week, and overall, they have a really good rushing defense this year, and the Colts kind of live and die by the Jonathan Taylor touchdown thing. And if he gets 100 yards, they win, and if he doesn't, they lose. It's a whole thing, so I think the Bills will be able to do enough to contain Jonathan Taylor and get the win here at home. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I'm gonna have to go with the Buffalo Bills here. I think that they are gonna want some revenge after they lost to the Jaguars, which was a really dumb loss to take at this point in the season. So they're gonna take that anger out on the Colts. And the Colts, if Jonathan Taylor does what he did, or what he did, I think, against the Jets, then yeah, then they may win. But that's really hard for a running back to keep on doing that. So I'm gonna have to go with the Colts or the Bills who just look way more, I guess, complete than the Colts do. Now I'm not saying that the Colts probably won't win the AFC South. It's either them or the Titans. And probably the Colts will make playoffs, but I think that the Bills will win this game. Zach?
I have the Buffalo Bills also. Um, one question. Name one team that the Colts have beat. It's a good team. They have beat the Dolphins, they have beat the Niners, and they have beat the Texans. And anybody else? They have. And the Jags and Jets. Okay. That is not impressive at all. And they almost sold in that Jags game, okay? This is not good. This is not a playoff team. And I believe that the Bills should have a better team. I know that they've lost to the Jags, but the only opponents that they have lost to is the Steelers and the Jags. That is a pretty good resume, better than the Colts. So yeah, and they've beaten good teams too at that, like the Chiefs, when people thought they were good. All right, our next matchup is the Miami Dolphins versus the New York Jets. Jack.
I'm going with the Dolphins. I don't care what's happening at quarterback for the Jets. It doesn't really matter when Corey Davis is probably going to drop the ball again, and the Jets' defense is not very good, and the Dolphins are on a long week. So it's like maybe the Jets could keep it competitive, but like I don't trust them like in the slightest. I think Miami has a lot of momentum going, and I think they're going to get a 3-game winning streak now going. Give me the Dolphins. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I also have the Dolphins. I think that this Dolphins team is starting to look in a better direction than they did in the beginning of the season. Like they did last season, they didn't start off too hot, and they might actually get some really solid wins going. Who knows? They actually could have 10 wins at the very end of the season. People saying that they're underrated. Who knows? Josh.
I have the Miami Dolphins winning this game. While I do think that it will be close between these two teams, I think that the Miami Dolphins are just a little bit better than the New York Jets are. So give me the Miami Dolphins winning here.
Next matchup is the Houston Texans versus the Tennessee Titans. Josh.
I'm going to have to go with the Tennessee Titans right here. I think after not last week, 2 weeks ago, before we went on by when we got blown out, that just showed me that the Texans are not blown out. We had a pick battle. That was the week before that week when we lost the Colts. But it was just a pick battle. We're tanking. We're probably going to get somebody in the draft, but we're probably going to trade down this year from the second pick. But this is tanking, so give me the Tennessee Titans here. I have no faith in the Texans. This is a funeral for Mike White, and the Texans have no hope either. So, yeah, nothing is happy now. So, I'm going to hand this one off to Zach for his take.
The Titans also. The Titans always dominate the Texans. And if Derrick Henry was in this game, which he's not, sadly, I feel like they would kill him even more than they already are going to. I think that A.J. Brown's going to have a great game. I think any of the running backs that they have are going to have a great game. Even Julio Jones might have a great game. Oh, yeah. Jack.
I'm going to go with the Titans. They're the hottest team in football. the Tex with the longest winning streak in the league. I think the Texans are the coldest team in football with the longest losing streak in the league. I don't think anything changes here. Maybe Tyrod can improve because of the bye and he's going to be a little healthier. But other than that, I don't see a road to victory for the Texans unless they can somehow stop the Titans on both sides of the ball.
All right, cool. Our next matchup is pretty interesting. It's the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Vegas Raiders.
I'll go Bengals. Tiebreaker here is going to be the bye week. I understand the Raiders, they got their doors blown off by the Chiefs, and that's not cool. But I think that wasn't a complete representation of them. And I think ultimately the Raiders are still an okay team. They're not a great team. They're an okay team. But ultimately, the Bengals have a bye, and they desperately need a win after losing to the Jets and the Browns. They need to pick it back up here, and I think they do this week. Give me the Bengals. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I gotta go with the Cincinnati Bengals here. Well, the Raiders do look good. They just had a lot of unfortunate events happen to their team. Ruggs was arrested. They had to cut one of their players for threatening fans. And John Gruden, well, his emails got him fired. And it's just been one bad thing after another for this team. I feel kind of bad for them. But the Bengals are probably going to win here because their team is, well, functioning correctly. And while I do think that they'll keep it close, the Bengals are going to win here. And it's going to be probably one or two scores that they're going to win by. So, Zach, what are your thoughts?
Bengals also. I think that this Bengals team could be a playoff contender, which is interesting to say because I've never really seen a good Bengals team going into this playoff. Who knows? They could surprise a lot of people. They could actually might have a deep run in them too. But this will be an easy clap, hopefully, for them. I think the Raiders can put up a fight, but mostly I think the Bengals, especially with this bye week, have more game plan around them. So hopefully Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow can create something. All right, our next matchup is the Chargers versus the Steelers. I'm going to hand this one off to Josh.
Ooh, Chargers versus Steelers. I'm going to have to go with the Los Angeles Chargers here. Even though the Steelers did win against the Bears, that was really a win given to them by the refs. And I think that in this game, the Chargers will win, them and their army of zero fans. While the Steelers, I would choose them, they're just so inconsistent. And their offense is what's killing them. Najee is amazing. I will not take anything away from Najee. He has been a great pick so far, which I thought he would be coming out of the draft. But Big Ben, oh my gosh, can he please just retire? It's embarrassing. This used to be a guy who was on track to be the Hall of Fame. He probably still is a Hall of Famer if he retires right now. But he's just hurting his legacy right now. He should have just hung it up last year, called it a career, and that's it. But he had to come back and try again. And now he's hurting his legacy, which is really sad to see. So I'm going to have to give it to the Chargers here because even though they're inconsistent, they are doing a lot better than the Steelers are. So, Jack?
I'm going to go with the Chargers. Steelers, these last couple weeks, you're 1-0-1. I could care less. You barely beat the Bears and had to get help from the refs. And then you tied with the Lions. I don't care if it's Mason Rudolph in there. The Lions, they're not, great necessarily. Well, they're far from great. But ultimately, the Chargers, they've kind of been slipping lately. I think they're going to get back on track this week. I don't really care who's in at quarterback. The Steelers, they're just meh. And their defense shows up, they can be pretty good, but I don't think they're showing up this week. I think the Chargers are getting the win.
The Chargers. Pretty good for an LA team. And also, Big Ben had a really tough time. And I am okay with Big Ben being bad this year. I am so okay with it. screwed the Cardinals out of a Super Bowl, he's never going to go back to the Super Bowl. So, yeah. Um, no Super Bowls, nothing for the Steelers. I hope that they don't make it back again. That's my bias going into it, but I don't care. Chargers are beating them. Chargers are a better team. So, yeah. All right, our next matchup is the New Orleans Saints versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Who had I transitioned to last time? Who was? I'm gonna just go with Josh.
I have the New Orleans Saints winning. I think that Trevor Simeon has shown that he's probably one of the best backups in the league, not including Colt McCoy. Well, yeah, not including Colt McCoy. And I think that he is going to beat the Jalen Hurts Eagles here. While I do believe the Eagles do have some bright spots on their team, I feel like the Saints, with Kamara, that defense, Trevor Simeon at quarterback, that O-line, their revolving door of kickers, I think that they will probably beat the Eagles. So I'm going to hand this off to Zach for his take.
Not the Eagles. I think that the Eagles have a not a solid team, but I think that they can be really competitive in this matchup, and I think that they could get the win. Now the Saints they might not have Kamara in. They're starting their backup quarterback. There's a lot of things that are going into this game that the Eagles can exploit. So yeah, also now they have more game film on Trevor Simeon, so this will help the Eagles out more than well, what usual teams have to deal with, like the Titans last time. Jack,
I'll go with the Saints. They're probably getting Kamara back, which is huge. The Eagles, that was impressive. I guess it was against the Broncos, though, so I got to take some of it away. And ultimately, they played a very competitive game against the Titans. They just couldn't seal the deal at the end. And I think they're going to seal the deal this week. Give me the Saints.
all right, our next matchup is the Washington football team versus the Carolina Panthers. Panthers still won't get Sam Darnold back, but Washington had a win. Well, I shouldn't, but Washington did. Jack,
I'm actually going to make it a little interesting here, and I'm going to go Washington. They got a little momentum going forward. It's kind of a Ron Rivera revenge game. Gibson finally started to do something. The offense is starting to pick up some momentum, and the defense showed up. I think the Panthers got a good chance to win this, but I just feel an upset in the air. I think they'll get the win here. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I got to go with the Carolina Panthers. With CMC back and all those pieces, especially with their new quarterback, Cam Newton, and beating the Cardinals, I think that this will be a win. It will be a close win, but it will be a win for the Carolina Panthers. Zach?
going football team, not because the Cardinals lost to them. It's just because I don't believe the Carolina Panthers can win a football game. An actual quarterback in and Taylor Heineke. I don't believe that they can get a win on the Washington football team. Their defense looked pretty good against Tom Brady. Cam Newton is old, and he didn't really throw for too well. It was mostly his legs that kept him in the game and CMC. So I don't believe that Cam Newton will get another win. I think that he got really lucky that the Cardinals didn't have injured Colt McCoy on when we were on our third string. Kyler Murray wasn't there. D-Hop wasn't there. There was a lot of things going into that game that the Carolina Panthers to win. Now, and I think the football team just played better last week, that they deserved the win this week. So, yeah. All right. Our next matchup is the Green Bay Packers versus the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to hand this one to Josh.
Packers versus Vikings. Ooh, I think I got the Green Bay Packers winning this one. Well, I do believe that the Vikings look good. They just can't finish out games. So that's my problem with them, and I think that that's really going to hurt them, especially even if it's a No, it's not going to be Roger-less Packers. With Rodgers back, they cannot make those dumb mistakes that they usually make. So give me Green Bay Packers here. Jack?
I'm also taking the Packers here. Minnesota, congratulations. on not melting down this week. You beat the Chargers. Very proud. That was a good win. But don't worry, I don't think you're going to need a meltdown this week because I think you're just going to lose outright. Aaron Rodgers has been getting that momentum back. He's getting healthier. I understand they lost Aaron Jones, but they still have A.J. Dillon, who's been pretty solid. We'll see how he does with all the carries in his hands. But I have to take the Packers here. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I also am going with the Packers. I think the Packers have a really solid team. They've beaten a lot of great opponents, and Aaron Rodgers is coming back. So a lot of things are looking up for Green Bay, and they need this win to kind of just keep the first seed. If they can't get the win here, then Cardinals or some other team will get the first seed. So yeah. Next matchup is the Arizona Cardinals versus the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to take this one. Cardinals. The Cardinals will be having Kyler back, having DeAndre Hopkins back, and I don't think the Seahawks, I know that Jamal Adams got a pick and like everyone's like really like happy for him. It's not going to happen again. You guys got shut out by Green Bay. At least we could actually score against them, okay? And Kyler has what, like 3 weeks of rest. Russ is hopefully not going to cook because it's in more the ending of the season now. Hopefully the defense doesn't show up, and yeah, then Cardinals have an easy win. Our defense has been looking decent except for the Panthers, and James Conner is going to run all over the Seattle Seahawks. Jack.
I'm also going to go with the Cardinals here. I think they finally getting Kyler and finally getting D-Hop back, which is definitely going to help. And ultimately, Russ was not cooking last week. His defense looked a little better, but I don't expect him to cook this week either. I think it's going to take a little more time for him to get back in rhythm, so I'm going to take the Cardinals here. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I gotta give it to the Arizona Cardinals after this tailspin that they have been on for these last couple weeks. I think they will get out of it because they are getting their stars back like Murray and Hopkins. Well, Murray will most likely be back. He's almost ready. They may not be starting this game. But I think that the Cardinals will win because while they have been in a tailspin, the Seahawks have really just been really sad this year. It's just really sad to see them now because they're just all deflated from whenever they used to be so good when they won the division last year. And now they can barely even scrape together points against Green Bay. So this is really sad to see, and I think that it's going to be another transition. I think it's going to be a transition year for Seattle. Their dynasty is over, and they're probably going to be doing some restructuring over the offseason. So give me the Arizona Cardinals here.
Our final matchup of this week is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New York Giants. I'm going to hand this one off to Jack.
I'm going with the Bucks here. The Bucks, the slide has to stop eventually. It has to stop eventually. They're going to figure it out. That's 2 games in a row now with a bye. I don't know what the problem is, but ultimately I think finally this is the week that they're going to get back on track, and Tom Brady's going to beat the New York Giants. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I got to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because this slide has been very sad from them. And they look like they've been playing well. They just haven't gotten the wins to show it. And, it's a little bit of a sputter, but they've done well. So I'd say just give it a little bit of time, and they should be all back to normal. And probably in the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl this year. So just late season sputter, but they had enough wins before that this will be fine. So yeah, I think the Bucks will be winning this game, especially against the Giants, who are just more of a dumpster fire than even the Buccaneers are. Zach?
The Bucks, they play really well. I think that they just had some stumble against the football team. It was a really solid game plan that they had. They both had their bye weeks, I think. So I think that the Buccaneers will have actually do have extra time for rest, so then Tom Brady can game plan even more than usual against the Giants, which he did lose to last year. I don't think he wants to lose to them again. We'll end Monday night with a dub, hopefully. Alright, well, that does it for our video today. If they liked it, what should they do, Josh?
If you like it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And also, this week, we will probably be sending out a Google form for the new fantasy league. Remember, the first couple people who get entry into the first league, because we can only make 20-man leagues. There will be a first league, second league, third league, however many leagues we need. So, if you want to be in the league and you want to be in the first league, make sure that you fill out the Google form very quickly, so then we can get y'all ready for next season and hype you up, because we'll be talking about it on the show. So if you want to be a part of the show, then just fill out the form and we'll have you in the Fantasy Football League. So thank you everybody for watching this. I've been John from Frontline Football. Rest in peace, Mike White's career so far and every tanking team's hopes. I've been Josh from Frontline Football, and Jack, hit the plugs.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, right? There it is. And we hope you enjoyed this episode of Frontline Football. We'll be back here next Saturday or Sunday for more predictions. See you then.
Yeah.